A receiver transmitted signals between the bodysuit antenna and the robot's computer drive. It worked just like the remote control of a television set, with two differences. Television remotes used infrared and were limited in distance. This receiver used X-ray waves and had a 100-mile range. As for handling the robot body, it wasn't much different than the sophisticated virtual reality computer games that Earth kids had been able to play for decades. In virtual reality, you put on a surround sight helmet that gives you a three-dimensional view of a scene in a computer program. The helmet is wired so that when you turn your head, it directs the computer program to shift the scene, as if you were there in real life. Sounds come in like real sounds. Because you're wearing a wired jacket and gloves, the arms and hands you see in your surround sight picture move wherever you move your own arms and hands. With me, the only difference is that the wiring reaches my brain directly through my spine. And I control a real robot, not one in virtual reality. From all my years of training in a computer simulation program, my mind knows all the muscle moves it takes to handle the virtual reality controls. Handling the robot is no different. Except instead of actually moving my muscles, I imagine I'm moving the muscles. My brain sends the proper nerve impulses to the robot, and it moves the way I made the robot move in the virtual reality computer program. The robot has heat sensors that detect infrared, so I can see in total darkness. The video lens's telescoping is powerful enough that I can recognize a person's face from 5 miles away. But I can also zoom in close on something nearby and look at it as if I'm using a microscope. I can amplify hearing and pick up sounds at higher and lower levels than human hearing. The titanium robot has fibers wired into it that let me feel dust falling on it, if I want to concentrate on that minute level. It also lets me speak, just as if I were using a microphone. It can't smell or taste, however. But one of the fingers is wired to perform material testing. All I need are a couple of specks of the material, and this finger will heat up, burn the material, and analyze the contents. It's strong, too. The titanium hands can grip a steel bar and bend it. And it's fast. Its wheels can move 3 times faster than any human can sprint. As I neared the hills at the end of the valley, I hoped everything the robot could do would be enough. But that hope ended when I saw the tons of dark red rubble that blocked the cave entrance. Chapter 3. Dad? I spoke into the robot's microphone, knowing my words would reach my father in the dome. Tyce? I am here, I said, my words drawn out and tinny-sounding through the robot's sound system. And? He asked. Most of the slope of the rocky hill was dull red, with jumbles of rounded rocks resting where they had been undisturbed for centuries. Directly in front of me, a lopsided heap of rock, twice the height of a man, was a much brighter red. This was rock in a new position, unweathered by the dust storms that covered Mars every spring. It does not look good, I answered. The entrance to the cave is totally blocked. I couldn't help thinking, every minute that passes is 1 minute less for Rawling and the other 3 trapped inside. What's your infrared tell you? The robot was capable of seeing on infrared wavelengths, which was a really weird way of looking at the world. It could show me temperatures of different objects, so I didn't need light waves. I switched to infrared. It was -50 degrees Fahrenheit, and the side of the hill showed up in my vision as a deep, deep blue. The rubble of the collapsed cave was slightly less blue, because some heat had been generated from the kinetic force of the cave-in. 2 incredibly bright pinpoints showed up halfway into the hill, with halos around the pinpoints that went from white to red to orange to blue the farther they were from the pinpoints of heat at the center. To me, it looked like candle flames I'd once seen when testing the infrared spectrum, with the air getting cooler the farther it was from the candle. I described this to Dad. All I could think of was that the bright heat was the remnant of an explosion, but this expedition hadn't taken explosives. Doesn't make sense to me either, Dad said when I finished telling him about it. What about the important indicator? I knew what he meant because we'd talked about it earlier. The important indicator, 98.6 Fahrenheit. The temperature